lovers. Today I am here with
Blake.
We're gonna talk about our chests.
Titties.
So now you're a trans guy.
I am.
And that means that you were born technically female. And I was born female and I identify as a woman. Being raised as women, we're taught to have like a tremendous amount of shame within our bodies, right?
Of course. I mean, like every girl, that's all that you're known for.
When I grew up, I was told my chest was too small.
I just felt like my chest, even if it was too small, it was just too big.
Right now, it's super popular to label yourself as trans. As popular as it was for when I was in high school for women to label themselves as bi without actually being bisexual.
Right.
And I think it's interesting because it's always females doing this. A lot of people right now are probably hating us, saying, why does it matter how people identified, how they identified doesn't have anything to do with you? The truth is, it does. It does have a lot to do with it because there are so many kids right now who are using the wrong words to describe how they feel or who they are. They're saying that they're transgender when they're actually just uncomfortable with their chests or maybe uncomfortable with their height.
Yeah, I didn't like do my research on like the difference between dysmorphia and dysphoria because, you know, me coming out as trans, I wanted to make sure that
you knew the difference,
I knew the difference in that, like, hey, like, am I this or am I this? Body dysmorphia is a body image disorder.
Right, not a gender identity disorder.
Gender dysphoria and body dysmorphia are actually like opposite. Completely different. Gender dysphoria basically is seeing a part of your body like that is there. Before I had my surgery, I saw that I had boobs. They were there. It wasn't something that I made up in my head.
Right.
Or that I like was trying to like manipulate in like an image of. And then when I got surgery, that dysphoria went away. Like I don't have any dysphoria. I feel great. Now having body dysmorphia is taking a part of your body, manipulating the way it looks in your head, making it a bigger problem, or manipulate the way that they think they look on the outside when it completely doesn't exist.
So I have a chart here. Look at the crazy difference between males versus females that are currently undergoing gender identity services. Difference between females and males seeking transgender services is ridiculous. Like look at the spike here. It's clear that something is happening. So why do you think females are more likely to identify as trans? Because body dysmorphia has been proven to be as, you know, common in males and in females. So why are females the only ones that are thinking they're trans because of this?
Body dysmorphia affects about 1 in 50 people. It begins to occur at the age 12 to 13 years old.
Which is
when most kids are claiming
to be trans.
There's like a difference in dysmorphia and dysphoria, and like do your research. Go get the help you need. It's also becoming like a fad.
It is. Yeah, it is. So there was a study recently about a study in high schools about how females who previously identified as lesbian or bisexual are now identifying as trans. It showed that transitioning, number one, increased the students' popularity, and also, this is even more important in my opinion, offered greater protection from harassments, you know, according to teachers and like law enforcement. Teachers were more concerned about anti-trans bullying than bullying that was anti-gay. Like how fucking crazy is that?
Why like girls try to transition is because, like we already stated, from a young age, vibes of being like a woman. Like even before I came out, like I could feel the difference between being like a woman and a man, and I'm not just talking about physically, but like how I was treated in society.
100,000%.
Like I have definitely gotten more respect. I've become more popular because I'm a guy.
Yes, there are so many women out there that are not trans that I believe are doing it for attention, for acceptance, because they think it's easier.
Popping up on the news more often and here and there. But that's the thing, is that it's in social media more.
This is not just a media thing. This is within the LGBT community, like media within the LGBT community, okay? So every year, like, you know, the Stonewall or HRC, they have these annual reports they send out to make sure that there are people that are donating to them, you know, understand where the money's going and being allocated. Look at the difference. I'm gonna put this on screen. The purple is lesbian and pink is trans. Look how lesbian is being squeezed out. Every one of them. Look, 2016, they weren't even mentioned in the HRC report, the word lesbian.
We're forgetting about like this whole other community that's out there that you could potentially be a part of instead of like being the one thing that's like huge right now. It's okay to experience or experiment your sexuality.
Right.
And I've done it, you know.
So have I. I kissed boys and I hated it. Experimenting with your sexuality is very different than experimenting with your gender. As far as like physical transitioning is concerned.
I have this lesbian friend that I work with. She hated having such like big tits, and she decided to get a breast reduction, but that didn't automatically make her trans.
Did you see the video that Calvin made about this person called Brennan? In my opinion, I think they're a woman. They're obviously female. They were, I think, identifying as like non-binary or genderqueer or something. And in the video that they made that he was critiquing, they talked about how their chest will never be flat enough for them. If it was actually gender dysphoria, that's what they said they were experiencing. Your chest is flat enough for you now. now.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's good. Like you're done. Like
No,
you're
I'm
good.
I'm
Like you're good.
This is great.
But
I am confident and everything.
that's the
like that.
difference.
The dysphoria is gone.
That's the difference between dysphoria and for this person was experiencing body dysmorphia. So when trans people physically transition, studies show that it is proven to help, which is, again, different than body dysmorphia.
Body dysmorphia causes sufferers to spend exorbitant amounts of time obsessing about and or altering appearance and is accompanied by a distorted view of how we look.
Right.
Gender dysphoria occurs when people experience distress because there is a mismatch between our birth assignments and our actual gender identities. This is not characterized by distortion.
Correct.
We simply do not align with what we see.
Right. So what you're seeing is real, what they're seeing isn't.
Yes, it's possible for someone to experience
Both.
It's important to know the difference because it's important to take care of them differently and get the help for each thing.
The reason we made this video, there's 3 reasons I feel like. Number 1, to know the difference between gender dysphoria and body dysmorphia. Number 2, because there are so many people that watch my videos. 75% of you guys are females and are under the age of 25. Most of them, I'm assuming a lot of them, are very likely to start identifying as trans when they're not.
This is just more of an educational video to like help people at least go out and if you're questioning your gender identity, at least go out and
Get your help. Get the help you need. You went to a therapist.
Yeah.
It hurts you when people are identifying as trans and they're actually not, when they're self-diagnosing themselves.
Would you get a prescription for medications if you didn't get diagnosed
Exactly.
properly
If you
by a
didn't,
doctor?
if you didn't have anxiety, would you get medicine? No. If you don't have dysphoria, would you transition? You shouldn't. No. That's the whole point of this video.
It's just really important just to know the difference.
So hopefully that cleared a few things up. We're gonna get shit for this, just so you know. Go and check out Blake's Instagram. I'll have it in the description below. And you have YouTube videos up or no?
Random ones.
Random one. Well, if you want to
Random
check out
ones.
his cutie pie ass, I'll have all his links in the description below. And if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the difference between body dysmorphia and gender dysphoria, and if you think you've had one or the other, or have been diagnosed with one or the other. Let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys back here in a few days with a brand new video. Until then, I love you. Love yourselves. Bye.